The title of today's live, I'm talking about emotional availability, how to be more emotional available in your relationship. And I'm going to give 3 tips on that. And before that, I'm going to give a little bit of background as well. Emotional connection. Why is emotional connection important? For some people, an emotional connection is the most important connection to them. For some people, it's physical. Good morning, Jasmine. For some people, it's physical. For some people, it's emotional. For some people, it's spiritual. And so everyone is different in regards to what they see. Husband's birthday was yesterday. Let me tell you, November has been lit with all the birthdays. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday to your husband. My son's birthday was last Sunday. My mom's birthday is Thursday. My middle brother's birthday was yesterday. My niece's birthday was 2 days ago. I had two sister-in-laws this month. So this month has been really crazy with the November babies. And they're sweet. So yeah, this month has been it's been crazy lit already in regards to birthdays. That's amazing. And we had a wedding with Ty and Brianka last Friday. Look, November has been amazing. And I want y'all to keep claiming that every day is going to be amazing. Today is going to be amazing. As you tell yourself that, you're going to believe it and you're going to act in that way. So let's continue to have just every single day, the rest of the month, the rest of the year, just close it out as amazing. I'm not sure how the beginning of your year started, but I want it to even be better than that. They always say the way you go into your year is how you end your year. I don't know that to be true. I don't know. Let's just claim for the rest of the year to be amazing. So in regards to emotional connection, some people feel that that's the most superior connection. Some say physical, some say mental, some say, spiritual. For me, that emotional connection outlasts pretty much any connection. Maybe up there with, spiritual. Because when that physical dies and, because you're freaking 85 and you're not having sex, you still have that emotional connection that binds you until death, right? You have that emotional connection that is thriving at 8 in the morning, that's great at 2 in the evening, that's amazing at 10 o'clock at night before you even get into the physical connection. And so having a really strong emotional relationship is so important. So really, what is an emotional connection? It's really an alignment you have with your partner that's based off feelings. And we all have emotional connections with our friends, our kids. And so it's really based off, your feelings and emotions. How are you connected there? Also, it's really an unspoken language. You have this connection and it's there, really, deep down, but you can't really explain it. It supersedes the physical. For example, and if you're coming in and say hello or say live, so I can know that you're here, so I can say hey back. I see someone, numbers are going up. For example, a couple of weeks ago, I was leaving wrestling practice, 2 Mondays ago, I was leaving wrestling practice with my son, my middle son, and I hit a freaking deer. If y'all saw my message on Facebook a couple weeks ago, I hit a deer. And I didn't kill a deer. Thank goodness, I kind of sideswiped it. And I literally almost started bawling. I was screaming, my son was screaming. And after that, I'm like, I gotta call my husband. And can I tell y'all, I didn't want to call him in a moment because I was driving and it was dark. It was the day after daylight savings time. And so I called, I didn't call Charlie, but literally a few minutes after I said I need to call Charlie called me. He never calls me when I'm leaving wrestling practice. We always, kind of check in an hour later, 45 minutes later, because he knows that we're at home. So he actually called me in the midst of right after practice where he knew I would not be home. And when he called me, I was like, I was gonna call you, I just hit a deer, and all this stuff. But these little things happen, and I'm just like, geez, we are so strong. Like, how did you know I needed you in that moment? Because sometimes you just feel it. Something just happens, whether it's just intuition or God or, whatever the case may be. Maybe drop a download in your body where you may just shift or you get I need to call really quick. So to me, just that emotional connection, and that probably could have been a little spiritual to y'all, just the, hey, let me call and check in. How did you know in this moment I needed you? And that is something really that just happens, over time. So in emotional connection, I know how you feel without even having to ask. When you have an emotional connection with your partner, you can really feel the temperature. I really work with people in their homes, coaching in their homes, and I walk in and I feel the temperature in the home. I feel the strain in the home. I can tell, okay, well, what happened before I got here? It doesn't feel great. So and I'm an empath too, so I pick up on a lot of energy. So the closeness based off feelings, the unspoken language, how do you feel? How does your partner feel without you really even having to ask? Because I just feel this aura around you. I can look at you and tell, you're moving a certain way. You're not eating this morning. You're not eating this morning. You're nervous, or, whatever the case may feel. I may feel an unsettlement in my body. So I know something is going on with you. So emotional connection is so important. I don't think we pay as much attention to it, in our marriages. And maybe it can be because sometimes we didn't have an emotional connection with our parents. We didn't get all the feels, the I love yous, the hugs, the, hey, something is off, let's talk. Sometimes in our home, we just went about our way. Or maybe sometimes like, what's wrong with you? And then you kind of shut down. So maybe growing up, you didn't really have time to build an emotional connection or really learn what all those feelings were. And so you may not know how to have that connection with someone else. You may not know how to be emotionally available with someone else. I know a lot of people, and put one in the comments, whether you feel at some point in your life, you or your partner was just not emotionally connected. And it could be because, you're shut down. I don't know how to feel when he responds this way. I don't know how to feel when she responds that way. And like I said, it can happen for, a very amount of reasons. And when you say, hey, he's not very emotional. He's not an emotional person. He won't let me in. Or she's not emotional. She's very guarded. That used to be me. I used to be very guarded. So I tell you all the time, a lot of the things that I do come in here and talk about, a lot of the things I do with my couples are things that I've had to learn myself. So just because I'm a licensed therapist, a lot of that stuff didn't come from me learning in grad school or whatever school. A lot of those things really came from me having to do the work myself. And so I wasn't very emotionally available. I used to be this very, in here. But when you learn to be more emotionally available in your marriage, I'm telling you, it really supersedes anything else. That's how you build your friendship with your partner. I tell people all the time, I said, we just really like each other. And it may sound weird to some. Yes, we love each other, but we really just like each other. And we get along well. And those things not just built on physical. Because you can not like someone and have great sex. But that emotional piece, that's what's needed. And that's what's missing in a lot of people's marriage. So in Marriage Maintenance Academy, which y'all need to be in, it's on $35 a month. I'm telling you, January 1 is going to go up. It will be available December 1. I actually had thought about pushing it back to 1 January because of the workbooks, the planners that's coming out. I don't want to put out too many things at one time. But I think I'm going to still go ahead and keep it at 1 December instead of 1 January. But I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence and why it's important, why it's necessary, not just with our partners, but with all of our relationships, our work relationships, our other friendships, our kids, and all those things. But for now, I'm just going to tell you this emotional intelligence is just that, being emotionally aware, being emotionally in tune. I know Ale, she's in this group, she's a self-care strategist. She talked about emotional intelligence. She talked about emotional intelligence before in her group. She knows all about that. And I'm going to tell you, it's based on 5 categories. Some places may say, depending on where you look online, it's based on 8 categories. I don't know those 8. But just those 5 is self-regulation, empathy, social, motivational, and self-awareness. I'm not going to talk about all those right now because it'll be a minute. But I am going to have a whole class in Marriage Maintenance Academy on emotional intelligence, and I think it's important for all of us to have that. So I want to give 3 tips to y'all today on really how to be more emotionally available in your marriage. And if you feel that, hey, that's me and it's not my partner, then add them to the group, or just place this video later on in front of them and say, hey, watch this. I want you to listen, because what I'm going to tell you is going to be 3 very, very, very simple tools. Not something that's going to take a whole lot of work, a whole lot of having to figure out how to do. These are things you can really just implement today. And yes, it goes deeper than this, but these are just a few basic places to start. So 1 is very easy. You have to create your space. Are you creating a safe space to have that connection? Even in an argument, are you creating a safe space to resolve your conflict? Because let's be honest, there are some spaces in our home that, we're really heightened, argument versus being a safe, calm place for us to actually sit down, have a conversation, come to a resolution, and really be at peace. Where do you do that? For some people, it's the kitchen. For some people, it's the bedroom or the bathroom. Like, where is your place where you actually feel safe and you can create a safe space to be emotionally available with your partner? For me, I know sometimes it's the bed, because we are sitting there. We don't have a TV in our room. We did before. We just moved here, so I'm not gonna say just, but we just moved here. So we don't have one here yet, and I'm almost inclined to really not get one, because it does take away from a lot of that connection. So for us, it's the bed. We can really sit in bed and talk. If I have a problem, I'll say, hey, let's talk about what happened yesterday. Hey, let's talk. Or whatever the case may be, but that bed for us is, it's a safe space. You know how they say pillow talk? Who argues laying in bed? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just uncomfortable to argue laying in bed, and then you have to lay there and, you can't even go to sleep in peace. So are you creating a safe space to be emotionally available? What's a calming place in your house? I recently talked to one of my couples about that this weekend. Like, where's your safe space? Are you even creating a space that's peaceful around you so you can feel comfortable? I'm just looking around. So you can feel comfortable and safe to even open up. So 1, create that safe space. What is that safe space for you? And I want to say that safe space, number 1, is definitely not around children. And if you're coming in and say, hello, let me let you here. That safe space is definitely not around children. So what safe space are you creating, or do you have in your home where you can make yourself more emotionally available? So number 2, listen. I told you this is going to be super simple. Number 2, listen. A lot of times when we are communicating with each other, whether it's through just regular dialogue, whether it's through conflict, we really don't shut up. We don't stop processing in our brains. We just need to listen. How many times when you're talking to your partner, hey Judith, why you didn't call me this morning? And why are you not working? A lot of times with our partners, while they're talking, we're already processing our thoughts. We're already processing our response. We already know what we're going to say next. So how do we make room for ourselves to be more emotionally available if we're already talking it out in our head and not listening? So shut off. You don't have one yet for that reason. Children, my house is too small right now. Okay, I'm going to come back to that because I have an answer. I have an answer for you. So turn your brain off and really open your heart to receive. Receive what they're saying. Listen at their feelings. How are they responding? What is that tone like? And these are a lot of things that I know that I teach my couples in my 4-month program. So are you creating that space? Number one. Number two, are you actually listening? Are you listening? And in my workbook, I talk about this. If you don't have my workbook, you should have it. Are you listening to respond? Are you listening to understand? You can't build an emotional connection if you're already, because what you're hearing when they're talking is, you don't even hear them because you're ready for a rebuttal. You don't know how they're feeling because you're ready to pounce back. You're ready to respond. So make yourself emotionally available and actually listen. Not with here, but then with here. I'll call you after the live. Okay, I'm gonna be quick then because I have an 11 o'clock. So I know it's crazy. I'm rushing y'all so I can talk to my friend. I know y'all ain't no good. So how are you listening? And what is that like? Stop processing. And number 3, hey Brianka. And number 3, are you asking questions? Okay. Well, I listen to respond, but I feel like I'm talking what he is saying. Let me know what you mean by that. I feel like you're taking in what he's saying. Okay, I said talking. Taking in what he's saying. And that's how he feels, and that's okay. And what does he mean by that? You're listening to respond. So are you responding when he's talking? When he's talking, are you like this? Are you like, like that? What is your body language? What is your posture? What are your eye movements? Again, this is a whole long thing. Good morning. Hey, Shanita, Shanita, where were you, in Jamaica? She's on vacation, y'all. I'm trying to get there in life. So how are you responding? How are you responding? Number 3, ask questions. You make yourself more available. Ask your partner questions. So even if you're trying to curate a response in your head, don't do that. Like I said, shut your brain off. When they're done talking, and maybe if you don't understand, because we do have partners that are not emotionally available. How can you show your emotions? Well, how are you feeling? How did that make you feel yesterday? How did that make you feel when I said those things to you? Because then when you can attach a feeling to that, then that will make you more emotionally aware. For example, let's say, like I told y'all, my space is my bed. Which me and Charlie, we can really talk about anything, anywhere now. But for me, it's more comfortable in a closed space, no kids, and all of that, where I feel that, hey, we can talk, we can get to a resolution, we can talk however long we need to talk. For us, that's in the bed. And nobody's arguing and fussing and screaming in the bed. We don't scream anyway, but no one's arguing in the bed. So if we're in the bed and I say, hey, I want to talk to you about yesterday. Yesterday you did so and so and so and so and so. Let's talk about that. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I just got a text message. And so from there, and if he may not even agree with it. He may not even agree with it. But I'm a very emotional person, so I'm going to need you to catch these emotions. So then from there, he can say, hey, Kira. So from there, he can say, okay, well, how did that make you feel? Or how did you feel about what happened yesterday? Or on the other side of that, I can give him an emotion. I can get messages and messages. This is why I go through my Zoom, but the camera quality is better on my phone. Or then, if that's me talking to him, I can say, well, let's talk about yesterday. Because yesterday, blah, 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 blah. And that made me feel hurt. That made me feel hurt. So I'm attaching an emotion to that so he can connect, so he can catch that emotion. I'm giving you my feeling of hurt. Well, dang, I don't want you to be hurt. Oh, I'm sorry. I hurt you. So from then, hey, now I'm bringing that emotion out of him by really giving him an emotion. And those are very small little things you can do to improve your emotional connection. Again, like I said, this is practice. And of course it goes deeper than that, but it's very, very simple steps you can get started on right now. Are you emotionally available? Is your partner emotionally available? Are you giving your partner space to be emotionally available to you? And vice versa. So those men do not think the way that we do. Well, that's true. They don't think the way we do. And often, I can say that not one woman, thinks the same as well. Because like I said, for me in the beginning, I was the one that was very, very closed off. I was the one that was not emotionally available. I was the one that was not emotionally available. So also, consider where you are in that and where's your partner. And let me say that for a lot of women, starting off, women don't want emotional men until they say, once you're married and all this stuff, you're not emotional enough. You don't express yourself enough. But did you ask for that? Did you ask for that? Did you ask for, hey, I want an emotional partner? We a lot of times we align emotions with weak. Emotion is just an expression of feelings. So are you even giving your men the safe space to be emotional? Or are you judging them in the midst of that emotion? So sometimes we really have to ask ourselves what it is we really want. And be okay with that result. Because we often say that, hey, I don't want an emotional man. But then, well, why aren't you expressing yourself to me? So what do you really want? Kira, I'm gonna come to you. I want to kind of go back a little bit to Dominique for a second. My husband said I listened to him. So Dominique, like I said, in regards to that may be what he's picking up on. And I would ask him, what do you mean by that? Because I feel like I'm taking it in, but what is your taking in like? What are your responses every time he's talking? Because I tell people all the time that communication is 80% nonverbal. So because you're not saying anything out of here, are you... So what does all that mean? So you're actually still responding. So what is your taking in process like? What does that look like? And for him, that can be a shutdown for him. Because that's coming out as you don't want to hear it, which is still a response. And in regards to your safe space, I'm going to tell you, we live, because we're military, we've been in a lot of small spaces. A lot of small spaces. And that's why I said that safe space doesn't always have to, it can be the freaking bathroom. It can be the bathroom. Let me tell y'all something. Growing up, I'm going to say this, it's like TMI, so in advance TMI. My family was very close, very, very tight. Almost like a, I'm not going to say negative, but a little boundary crossing type. My aunt used to come in the bathroom, we're in the tub, and my mom never did that, my grandma never did that, but my aunt, my grandma's sister used to come in the bathroom while we were in the tub. And she used to come in the bathroom while we could be using the bathroom, she'll come in there and grab something and stuff like that, and sometimes she would even come and sit down and talk to us while we're in the tub. Like, what in the world? What is wrong with you, lady? And so sometimes you create, and maybe for her, that was a safe space where she felt that, hey, we couldn't go anywhere. She wanted to talk to us about something important. So what is that space for you? The bathroom. Me and Charlie used to just talk in the bathroom. I'll be in the tub and he'll come sit on the toilet. Like, no lie. So what is that? So when you say a small space, okay, it's not, you don't need to create that much space. What about when the kids go to school? If they do go to school. So that space can be anywhere. That space can be your car. That space can be the freaking closet. So it doesn't have to be because the house isn't big. Look, we had a whole bunch of small houses and the walls were thin and we right here and the kids' room right here. But you still have to create that space to have those conversations and to build that connection. So, and like you said, I do interrupt sometimes. So he is right. And those are his feelings, and that's okay. Yeah, you don't hesitate to say you too. And I want to tell you about that. When you say I don't hesitate to say you too, is that because you don't like being called out? Is that because he's right, but you want to be defensive? So sometimes that's a really quick defense mechanism to say you too, because we don't want to accept ownership. And it's not saying that, you're a bad person. Hey, I'm just noticing some things that maybe you can work on. Instead of saying, you can work on it too. Where is that getting you? Where is that getting you? So now we're back in the same place. And we're not getting anywhere because now we're finger pointing. Now we're on the defense. And how does that work out? Instead of saying, you know what? I possibly could work on that. And I have no problem working on that. And maybe as you're working on that and he sees the change in you, he may recognize, well, dang, I was doing that too. Let me fix myself. But don't always get on the defense. And it could be something deeper there as to why you're getting defensive. Kira. How do you deal with negative, non-verbal? How do you know they're negative? How do you know the non-verbal cues are negative? Is that because you both just have that emotional connection and you know that they're negative? Like, is it like a shutdown? Is it a certain, stare or head put down? So what are they negative? And how do you deal with that? I would ask what that means. And I try my best. I'm not going to say I do all the time. I try my best to not use negative words. So, which is why if anybody going to call me, I would say, hey, you look a little distant. Hey, you look like you're kind of not attached to the conversation. But why you got your head down? Like, I don't do all of that. So, so when you have those negative nonverbal cues, talk about them. Talk about them. And like you said, or what you perceive to be negative, talk about them. So you can know what they mean. Because it may be attached to something you're saying. So maybe let me find a better way to say that. If possible. Or is it a touchy topic I need to, avoid, or we need to really digest more? So when you have those, ask about them. Don't avoid them because they mean something. And whether they're positive or not as positive, they all mean something. And people who don't communicate well verbally is something that we all really need to work on and improve because it's very necessary. At the same time, really pay attention to the nonverbals. They're important. So in regards to keeping everything in Kayla, that could really have a lot to he's becoming more of what he does and not who he is. So I'm becoming, more military, and the military is this, that, third. Take those emotions, put them down here, don't bring them back up. So now I'm very much soldier in 99% of my life, and not just at work, come home, pull those layers and clothes off, and tune back into my wife. So it could be that he's very much attaching himself to what he does. What if you say we can work on it together? What do you mean by that? What if you say we can work on it together? Because it's something you definitely can work on together in regards to, hey, calling each other out. I have no problem saying, hey, you're doing that again. Or, hey, like I remember I had clients before used to always say, hey, remember Miss Kasey said, remember Coach Kasey said this. So it's okay. Here we can work on it together and also hold each other accountable. That's how you hold each other accountable. It's also a different cultural background. What is normal for me and how my family interacts could be disrespectful and rude to him. And I agree. I definitely agree to that. It could be a difference in cultural background, but how do you make that work for your marriage? If it's disrespectful to him, let me find a way to say it. It's not disrespectful to him. Yes, it's my culture and my background, but in my home it's something different. So how do I change my environment here? Because the way I talk to my husband, I might get on the phone with my mom, and we may communicate different. We may talk, and you might know what the heck we're saying. But I may have to get over here to my husband and to kind of slow it down a little bit. And so I definitely understand the cultural difference, but how can we alter that to make it a little more respectful in the way that our husbands can receive it? Okay, eye rolling, I don't do eye rolling. Don't roll your eyes at me. But for real, when you say, eye rolling, deep breathing, to me, that is kind of, I'm over it. Maybe you said it too much. I'm tired of hearing it. And well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, okay, so I noticed you roll your eyes. Like, can you tell me what that means? Is this conversation bothering you? So that really is the segue into a deeper conversation, because you're saying something without saying something, but it means something, Kira. And you can also address that. You roll your eyes, I feel disrespected. I feel disregarded. I feel what I'm saying does not matter. Can you please not roll your eyes? Y'all coming through with the questions today. I should have made this a whole class. What time is it? I have a call in 8 minutes. Okay. He thinks I'm nitpicking. Okay. Well, are you nitpicking? Do you feel that you're nitpicking? I recently learned that I've been defensive. I had my shortcomings brought up. What am I coming up? Okay. And so would you say that the defensive is you protecting yourself? A lot of times we get on the defense. It can be because of that. It can be, okay, I don't know why yours keep freezing. So you getting on the defense, a lot of times it can be because you're protecting yourself. I'm getting in protection mode. I feel like I'm being attacked. I've had my shortcomings brought up more than my accomplishments. And I'm going to tell you, Dominique, this is what's so amazing about partnership. Is say that. Like, I feel like you're attacking, more than you're praising. I feel like you're attacking more than you're praising me. And it's not very productive. Like, say that. And this is where the work comes in, y'all. And like, y'all really have to do the work, because what that's going to do, that's going to cause you to shut down. That's going to cause you to not be emotionally available. That's going to cause you, whenever we talk, my brain is already shut off because I know you're about to criticize me. So I don't even want to hear it. So I don't think about what I'm cooking for dinner. Why you're blah, 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 blah. Am I right, Dominique? So when you feel that, hey, you're being defensive, I feel that you're attacking me, because this is what I feel, then I shut down. I don't see you praising my efforts or what I'm doing right, but just talking about the things that are not right, that are challenging. And it's not very productive. And I would actually say that, you make me feel like, have me give a whole session here, y'all. You make me feel that I'm the only one doing wrong here. I'm the only one that's not doing things the right way. Like I said, I'm trying to work on that too. Stop being in the negative. but you make me feel I'm the only one that's not doing things the right way. I'm the only one that's messing up. I say that, attach that feeling to that. And this is what I'm talking about by this, being emotionally available. Kira, I asked you a question. You didn't answer me still, Kira. I say he thinks you're nitpicking. Like, what is he? Do you feel that you're being nitpicking, or are you? And why is that? Yes, Teresa. Sometimes we have to do soul searching and stop being so defensive. And so where does that defense come from? That defense can be, yes, definitely one, lack of accountability. You don't want to accept what is being said is true. It also can be me going into protection mode about myself. So I get defensive because I'm protecting myself. Y'all was so awesome this morning. Oh my goodness, they have all the questions. I love it. I definitely was like, oh, I'm gonna go on at 10:15. I'll be done by 10:45. But this was good, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Definitely. Hey, Faith. Marriage Maintenance Academy. I told y'all earlier I was gonna push it back to 1 January, but I think I'm gonna still try my best to definitely have it. And it's not gonna ever be always complete. So I'm gonna always be adding rich content. Oh my God. I'm going to be always adding rich content and worksheets and, conversations like this, but actually doing a whole lot more. Like I said, I'm going to be talking more. You're going to have a whole jazz class on emotional intelligence and emotional availability there. So $35 a month, y'all, what's that like? $8 a week? Yeah, $8 a week, like $8.25, I don't know, a week. You cannot beat that. And then if you want to add a session with me, that's $97 a month. So one session with me, $97 a month. Y'all, my sessions are way more than that. And so it's definitely going to go up though, 1 January. So it's either going to be a full, it's $97 a month, and then plus the session is an added bonus. Or y'all, my niece upstairs text me, can I make mac and cheese during my phone call? She must have wanted vegan. Because I don't even. Anyways, so Marriage Maintenance Academy, and also Rediscovering You. Y'all, I'm so excited about Rediscovering You. Every time I think about it, I just really get a pit in my stomach. You ever get that pit, that nervous feeling in your stomach? That's really God telling you, hey, you're doing the right thing. You're going in the right direction. And this is really just for women only. I remember the big bulk of this year, all of last year. Last year I worked with 2 women. This year I worked with a few more women because women constantly say, hey, I need to work on me first. And I'm like, I'm for your marriage, but I definitely listened. So Rediscovering You is just for women completely. Are you in a place where you feel that you're stuck? I really take time to rediscover myself, who I am, pull off these layers of all of the roles that I'm playing, and to find more fulfillment in myself and me, in my life. And when you do those things, it's going to make your marriage better. It's going to make your parenting better because you're really taking time to dive into you. Who's doing that? Are you taking the time to really dive into you and pull off those layers? Y'all, I'm telling you, $697, 12 weeks, that's it. Any coach is watching this will tell y'all that Kasey is done for for giving it at such low prices, because I'm telling you, my marriage coaching is so much more. My strategy sessions is a little bit less than that. So this is something I really want to do for women who really want to take that time to rediscover you and peel off those layers so you can be better for your life and better, really for your relationships, overall. So this price is going up as well. It's going to go up to $19.97. And so if you don't enroll for $6.97, I don't know what to tell you, because that's literally how much divided by 3? That is like 3 something a month, really. So that's it. That's all I got. And I want to tell y'all too, I was going to post this in a group, and I'm probably going to post this in the group later. It actually is set to post later. My workbook, and this is another reason why I want to train this program. My workbook, 5 Senses of Love, relationship workbook. Where is it at? Hold on, I got it. This is my baby. 5 Sentences of Love Relationship Workbook. I created this workbook, and I'm going to tell you, I created this workbook last year out of fear, which is why my word for the year this year was fearless. Fearless. If any of you had If any of you had a word for the year or a quote for the year, put it below, and I'm going to come back and read it later. This was my word for the year was fearless. But last year I created this out of fear because I really wanted to write a book. I did not write that book again, because I was scared. Like, who's going to read a book from me? Who's going to, do, whatever. And so I created the workbook. And I went back and revised it over and over and over and over because I thought it wasn't perfect enough. Until Judith, who was just on, was like, girl, put that thing out and stop changing it. Y'all, this workbook was nominated for an award. I got the email Saturday. This little 40-page workbook was nominated for an award. And my publisher told me, and I'm like, why me? It's a workbook. She said, well, aren't you teaching something? I said, yeah. I'm like, but it's a workbook. And she said, you deserve this. Y'all, that made my Saturday, again, has made my November. So I want to say to women, you can do whatever you want to do. My grandmother told me that growing up. And I always told me, you can do whatever you want to do. I always thought it was one of those cliche things. And you can do whatever you want to do, and you can do it scared. I've done a lot of things this year in fear, even though my word was fearless, because I'm going to go just march right through that thing, and it may work or it may not work. Yeah, and Shanita, I'm going to be in New Orleans because the event is in New Orleans. The gala, it's going to be in New Orleans. I'll be in New Orleans next month. So rediscovering you is about that. Stepping into fully, who you are, scared or not. Rediscovering yourself and what your purpose is. And if you're starting a business and, hey, how do I do that? How do I, what are the basics? I'll show you that. Nothing's a secret with me. So if you want to know more information about rediscovering you, I think November the 21st, the price is going to go up to $19.97. So I think you have another week to lock it in at this price. And so if you don't believe this is super stupid low, go talk to any other coach. They're going to be like, girl, no. I charge that in a month. I charge $2,000 in a month. So I want you to really tell yourself that you can be better. Know that you can be better. Know whatever goals you have for yourself, look 10 times that. Because if they don't scare you, look, you got to go back into your arsenal and dig deeper. And so y'all have an amazing day. Marriage Maintenance Academy, December 1st. December the 2nd, I think, is when I'm starting. It's going to be the first day of, yes, we need to connect. December 2nd, I think, is going to be the first day of rediscovering you for women. And yes, that's it. If you have any questions, comment below or message me. But y'all have a good day because I'm already late for a call I had 3 minutes ago. I'm sorry. All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.